A storm brews over Jerusalem. A disciple looks back one last time, and a single decision changes everything. In The Chosen Season 6, secrets are beginning to surface. Secrets that may rewrite how we've understood this story for years. What if the upcoming season isn't just about what's next, but about what's been hidden all along? Because deep inside the hearts of these characters lies a truth the show has been quietly building toward, and it's about to explode in Season 6. Every great story isn't just about what happens, it's about who it happens to. And The Chosen has mastered this art like few shows ever have. Over the years, we've watched these disciples grow, fail, rise, and stumble again. But in Season 6, the quiet journeys taking place beneath the surface might be the most powerful yet. Take Matthew, for instance. Once a man chained by rules, numbers, and loneliness, we've seen him break free from his old identity. But the whispers from the production hint that Season 6 will test that freedom. Matthew might face something that forces him to question whether he's truly forgiven or if his past will always follow him. Imagine watching him stand at a crossroads, torn between the man he was and the disciple he's trying to become. Then there's Mary Magdalene. Her journey has been one of the most emotional arcs in the series. She's been broken, restored, and shaken again. Yet, there's a quiet strength in her, one that might finally be revealed in this season. Rumor has it that Mary will play a major role in guiding others through their moments of doubt. A mirror of the grace she once received. It's poetic, the healed becoming the healer, and Peter the heart, the fire, the impulsive soul. Fans love him because he's so human. But in Season 6, that humanity may collide with something far greater. A struggle between faith and fear is coming for him, one that could define his destiny. There's talk of a major turning point that will set up one of the most emotional events in the series. Something fans of the Gospels will instantly recognize. Even the smaller characters, Thomas, Eden, and Andrew, are being shaped for something deeper. The creators have always used small moments, small gestures, to prepare us for big truths. Watch closely this time. A single line of dialogue, a silent look, a quiet prayer. It might not mean much now, but it's part of the web Season 6's weaving. The Chosen doesn't just retell ancient stories, it rebuilds them from the inside out. Each character carries a secret, one of faith, fear, and fragile hope. In this season, those secrets are ready to surface. What if everything they've gone through, every miracle, every failure was leading to this moment? Because in The Chosen, no story is random. Every arc connects. Every heartbreak serves a purpose. And in Season 6, those threads may finally pull tight, revealing a truth that will shake the faith of even the strongest disciple. Sometimes, biggest secrets aren't written in the script. They happen when the cameras stop rolling. Season 6 of The Chosen is already being called the most emotional, most demanding, and most spiritually intense chapter, yet not just for the story, but for the people making it. What the audience sees on screen is only a fraction of what the cast and crew have lived through behind the scenes. And that's where the real miracles and challenges have taken place. During filming, several actors described the experience as life-changing. Some scenes were so heavy that even seasoned professionals found themselves in tears, not because of acting, but because of the truth they were portraying. One cast member admitted that there were moments when silence filled the entire set after a take, as if no one wanted to break the sacred stillness that had just unfolded before their eyes. And then there's the director, Dallas Jenkins. Known for his calm, thoughtful approach, Dallas has hinted that this season pushed him more than any before. He's spoken about late-night script rewrites, unexpected weather delays, and emotional exhaustion, but also about something deeper. In one behind-the-scenes talk, he said, "Every time we think we're done growing, God gives us another scene that proves that's not just production talk, it's the heartbeat of The Chosen." The filming locations this time were chosen, not only for their beauty, but for their symbolism. The dusty roads, the rocky hills, even the silence between takes, everything is designed to echo the emotional state of the story. The crew spent weeks building sets that look weathered by time and struggle, mirroring the hearts of the characters themselves. There were also rumors of unexpected challenges, cameras failing mid-shot, lighting setups ruined by sudden storms, schedules turned upside down. Yet, instead of breaking the team, these moments seemed to unite them. Some crew members even said it felt like the obstacles were part of the story's divine rhythm, as if the chaos was guiding them towards something greater. One of the most striking details comes from a scene that reportedly left the entire crew in tears. No spoilers, but according to insiders, it captures a turning point that shows both pain and redemption in one breath. A moment where faith meets fear, and neither walks away the same. And here's the part that few fans know. Several unscripted moments were left in the final cut. Genuine reactions, not rehearsed, not planned, that brought raw humanity to the screen. These spontaneous touches, born out of real emotion, are what make The Chosen feel alive. Season 6 isn't just being filmed, it's being felt. Every line, every look, every breath carries the weight of something real. It's as if the people behind the camera are living the message they're trying to tell. Maybe that's why audiences connect so deeply with it. Because it's not just acting, it's testimony. And as we dig deeper into these behind-the-scenes moments, one thing becomes clear. The power of The Chosen doesn't just come from the script. It comes from the souls who bring it to life. There's something sacred about retelling a story. It's already written in eternity. But what happens when storytellers dare to look between the lines and give life to what the Bible doesn't show, but what the heart can feel? That's exactly where The Chosen stands apart. Season 6 is rumored to take this balance between truth and imagination further than ever before. It's not about rewriting the Bible. It's about revealing the humanity inside it, the emotions, fears, and fragile moments that Scripture sometimes leaves unspoken. The creators have always walked a fine line. One step too far, and it becomes fiction. Too cautious, and it loses the heartbeat that makes it real. But The Chosen has found that middle ground, a space where faith meets storytelling, and both shine brighter together. In the writer's room, every word of dialogue goes through deep reflection. The team doesn't just ask, "Is this accurate?" They ask, "Does this feel true?" Because truth isn't just found in facts, it's found in the feeling of faith itself. Take the way Jesus is portrayed. He's not distant, glowing, or unreachable. He laughs, he cries, he feels pain. And that's the beauty. It's not changing the message, it's magnifying it. When we see him washing dusty feet or comforting a child, we understand the divine through the deeply human. But Season 6 is said to go even deeper into this creative space. Sources close to production suggest the show will explore moments that were never shown in traditional retellings. What the disciples thought, what they feared, and how they lived between miracles. It's in those quiet, unrecorded hours that we discover who they really were. Some fans love this freedom. Others fear it might stray too far. Yet the truth is, The Chosen has never tried to replace Scripture. It tries to awaken it. To make us see it again, not as text, but as life. In one interview, Dallas Jenkins explained it perfectly. The Bible gives us the bones. Our job is to put flesh on them, not to change the body, but to show that it was alive. And that's exactly what Season 6 seems ready to do. Expect scenes that don't just show miracles, but what happens before and after, the doubts, the waiting, the quiet faith that fills the silence between God's actions. Expect conversations that make you wonder, what would I have said if I were there? This is where The Chosen thrives, in the space between the divine and the human. It invites viewers to see faith not as something ancient, but as something happening right now, inside us. Because sometimes, the most powerful stories aren't the ones we read, they're the ones we imagine. Guided by the truth that already lives in our hearts. And in Season 6, that truth might hit closer to home than ever before. Sometimes, the greatest messages in The Chosen aren't spoken at all. They're hidden in the shadows, buried in the silence, and waiting for the ones who are paying attention. Every frame of The Chosen tells a story, not just with words, but with color, movement, and stillness. And in Season 6, that hidden language is more alive than ever. Look closer at the light that falls across a disciple's face, at the empty chair left in the background of a scene, at the way a storm begins to rise just before a moment of faith. These details aren't accidents. They're whispers, quiet messages from the storytellers, guiding us toward what's coming next. The show's creators have always loved symbolism. They use it to speak to both the eyes and the heart. The color blue has often surrounded moments of peace and forgiveness, while deep shadows mark scenes of doubt or betrayal. Season 6 is said to push these visual codes even further, painting a spiritual language across every episode. Take the candles, for example. In The Chosen, light has always represented hope, the flicker that survives even in the darkest night. But in this new season, that light changes. Some scenes feature only one candle burning, others none at all. It's a quiet hint. Something is shifting, and not everyone will walk through it unchanged. And then there's the sound. The background score is subtle, haunting, sacred, often gives away the future before the story does. Listen closely and you'll notice the same melody appearing across different characters, connecting their journeys long before they ever realize it. It's like a divine thread tying their destinies together. Even the camera work tells secrets. When the frame widens, it often signals revelation, the truth being seen. When it tightens on a face, it's usually a moment of struggle or doubt. Some shots linger longer than expected. It's holding silence like a breath before the storm. Fans who've rewatched older seasons have noticed how The Chosen foreshadows events far ahead. Season 1 quietly hinted at the miracles of Season 4. Season 3's emotional breakdowns predicted the heartbreaks of Season 5. So now, as we step into Season 6, we know every small moment might mean something huge later. One example already sending fans into speculation is a mysterious look exchanged between two characters in a recent teaser. It lasts barely 2 seconds, but it's loaded with tension, as if both know a truth they can't yet say. That's the genius of It's The Chosen. It trusts the audience to feel what's not said. In a world full of noise, The Chosen speaks through silence, through symbols, through moments that only make sense after the story unfolds. And Season 6 promises to take that artistry to a higher level. It's not just storytelling anymore, it's prophecy through image, emotion, and light. So next time you watch, don't just listen to the dialogue. Watch the way the wind moves, the way the light flickers, the way silence falls right before the truth is revealed. Because sometimes, the message of The Chosen isn't in what's said. It's in what's hidden, waiting for your heart to notice it first. Every story must end. But what if The Chosen isn't ending? It's transforming. Season 6 might not just close one chapter. It could open a doorway to something far bigger than fans have ever imagined. From the beginning, The Chosen has never been about just retelling the life of Jesus. It's been about building a world. One where ancient faith feels alive in modern hearts. And now, whispers around the production hint that what's coming next will stretch beyond the limits of a single series. Insiders say that the creators have been planting the seeds of something larger, a final 2-season arc that will bring the story to the crucifixion, the resurrection, and possibly what comes after. Not just an ending, but a rebirth. But that's not all. Behind closed doors, discussions are happening about expanding The Chosen into new forms, maybe a feature film, maybe companion stories, focused on the disciples' lives after everything changes. Nothing is official, but the clues are there. Every decision being made in Season 6 seems to point towards something, a bridge between this story and a larger vision. Dallas Jenkins has hinted at this before. He once said, "We're not just making a show about Jesus, we're building a movement." And it's true. What started as a small project has turned into one of the most watched faith-based series in the world. It's been translated into dozens of languages, seen by millions and discussed in churches, homes, and online communities across the globe. But Season 6 feels like it's preparing us for a change, a tone shift, a deepening of everything we've come to love. It's as if the story itself knows that the light is about to pass through darkness. The joy of the journey is about to collide with the weight of destiny. Every decision made now, every friendship, every word, every act of faith is pointing toward the moment that the world will never forget. The moment that defines history. And yet, there's hope in the whispers. Because even after the story of sacrifice, there's resurrection. There's life. There's continuation. Fans have begun theorizing that The Chosen might continue beyond the biblical timeline. Not in a historical sense, but in a spiritual one. Exploring how those same lessons echo in our modern lives. How the same faith that walked the dusty roads of Galilee now walks. Through the cities of today, it's not just about what happens next in the show, it's about what happens next in us. Because The Chosen was never meant to be just watched. It was meant to be felt. To remind us that even after the final episode fades to black, the story doesn't stop. It moves through every person who is touched by it. So yes, Season 6 may bring closure to some arcs, heartbreak to others, and glory to all. But beyond that, there's something deeper rising. Something that feels like destiny still unfolding. Maybe. The true future of The Chosen isn't just on screen. Maybe it's in the hearts that keep believing long after the credits roll. When the final scene fades, when the lights dim and the music dies down, something still lingers, a feeling that refuses to leave. That's what The Chosen does best. It doesn't just tell stories. It leaves fingerprints on your heart. Through every season, we've seen faith tested, friendships broken, and hope reborn. We've seen laughter in the middle of loss and light in the darkest corners of fear. And now, as Season 6 draws closer, it's more than just another chapter. It's a mirror, one that quietly asks, what would you do if you were there? Because The Chosen has never really been about them. It's always been about us. The doubters, the believers, the ones still searching for something real. Every miracle shown on screen reminds us of the unseen miracles in our own lives, the quiet ones, the ones that happen when no one is watching. Every tear shed by a disciple feels like a reflection of our own moments of weakness. And every act of faith feels like a reminder that hope is still possible even when it hurts. Season 6 is expected to bring some of the most emotional storytelling yet, not just because of what happens, but because of what it means. Forgiveness will be tested. Loyalty will be shaken. Faith will stand in the fire. And in that fire, something sacred will rise. Maybe that's why millions around the world connect to this series, not because of its budget or visuals, but because it feels alive, real, honest. It doesn't ask you to be perfect. It just asks you to keep believing. So when you watch Season 6, don't just watch it with your eyes. Watch it with your heart. Notice the small things, the trembling hands, the quiet prayers, the unspoken forgiveness. Those are the real miracles. And if the story moves you, share it. Talk about it. Let it spark conversations in your home, in your faith, in your doubt. Because the message of The Chosen was never meant to end when the credits roll. It was meant to continue through you. This isn't just a show. It's a reminder that love still heals, that forgiveness still frees, that faith still changes everything. So, before the next episode begins, take a breath. Think about what these stories have awakened in you. Because maybe the greatest miracle of The Chosen is that it chose to find you. The story is almost complete, but its echo is only beginning. The Chosen Season 6 isn't just a season, it's a turning point. A storm before the sunrise. A moment when everything we've learned, everything we've felt, comes together in a single heartbeat. The disciples have walked through darkness, doubt, and destiny. We've watched them lose everything and still hold on to something greater. And maybe that's what this whole journey has been about. Not the perfection of faith, but the persistence of it. Because faith isn't clean. It's not always bright or certain. Sometimes it shakes. Sometimes it breaks. But it endures. That's the message The Chosen has been whispering all along through every scene. Every tear, every silent prayer. That even when the world feels quiet, God is still speaking. Even when you feel forgotten, you're still part of the story. As the camera slowly fades and the screen turns black, remember, this isn't the end. It's a pause before something even greater begins. The miracles aren't over. The story isn't finished. And maybe it never will be, because The Chosen isn't just about what happened 2,000 years ago. It's about what's still happening now. In you, in me, in anyone brave enough to keep believing when belief feels impossible. So, as you wait for season 6, carry this story with you. Carry its courage, its love, its truth. Let it remind you that even in silence, hope is still alive. And when the next chapter begins, you'll be ready. Because once you've been chosen, you're never the same again. The screen fades to black. Soft music rises. Text appears slowly. The Chosen, Season 6. The truth is closer than ever.